parking lot of High Park. As you can see, it's very, very busy. Very busy. It's very hard to find parking unless you come here early morning. And it's only 10:25 here in Toronto, and it's packed. So you can see here along the roads is the bicycle path for all bicycles. And there's a bicycle going by who's not using the bicycle path, but he's just going to pass us anyways. So we're just leaving High Park now, and we're going along, this is the Queensway that leads you into Lakeshore, which is a vibrant street of Toronto, and you will see the reason why. It may not be so vibrant right now because it's still early in the morning, but it does get very, very busy with lots of people and activities going on. So we're going to be going east along the Queensway that leads you to the Lakeshore. So now we're going along the Lakeshore, which shows Lake Ontario. So you see these are bikes where people can rent and ride the path of Toronto. So you can come here and rent a bike if you want, or you can just walk. Swimming pool. It's called Sunnyside Pool. And a lot of people are swimming there. Just a few people. Like, it's very busy later on in the day. Places where you can buy food and drinks. There's a bicycle path. Park area, tennis court. You have to be a member at this place here, actually. You got to be a member of the Boulevard Club in order to use the tennis courts. And there's lots of boats, as you can see. Boats. Coming up to one of our famous attractions is the Medieval Times. We can go inside and you watch people fight the medieval ways, and they dress up and they're actually on horses and swords, and you can actually have dinner and eat the way back in the medieval times. So that's a big building, the circle, and then also is the Ontario Place, and the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, which will be opening up in August. It's always the last 2 weeks of August before school starts. And that's a windmill, Toronto Windmill. And then there's Lake Ontario, beautiful Lake Ontario. And we're also coming up to, this used to be Ontario Place. This is actually where I had my very, very first job. But they're apparently knocking it down. Hopefully you'll be able to come and experience it before they knock it down. This is the Budweiser Stadium where they had concerts. This is Ontario Place. Budweiser stage, lots of concerts. And there's our CN Tower. So we're heading downtown, closer to downtown, just along the lakeshore. And there's a sign that says Ontario Place. Ontario Place is a big, huge area. It takes up lots of land. As you can see, lots of condos have been built, put up in Toronto. Lots of condos. Beautiful parks along the lakeshore, the water, people jogging, people enjoying themselves on the vacation. It's July the 11th here today in Toronto, my second day of vacation, and I'm just enjoying the scenery. As you can see, that's Coronation Park, sorry. Along, and there's a baseball field. People can come and play baseball. Now we're heading towards Queens Quay, where I told you is the heart of the vibrant city of Toronto along the lakeshore. This is called the Queens Quay. That's Billy Bishop Airport, one of our airports too, that actually flies to the States. This is a community center, a neighborhood center where youth play basketball. And this is part of Queens Quay, the harbor front. So you can see lots of boats. People park their boats here for the summer, for the whole year actually too. And then they open it up for the summer. Queens Quay was revamped and renovated a few years ago to make it just one lane, so the bicycles can have their lane and the cars have their lane, and the subway streetcars can have a lane too. So this took I think 2 or 3 years to renovate it. Took a long time. It was very, very busy and crazy at that time of renovation, but now it's finally finished. So the bikes have their own lane, bikes and runners. Bus takes you actually to the airport. If you live down here on the Queens Quay, you can get on the bus. And there's a streetcar. There's a streetcar. The Queens Quay streetcar, number 50, is from Spadina all the way over to, takes you to the C&E actually too. It's a 50 streetcar, Spadina. This is the Marine Center and Fire Truck, so it watches out for anyone who's having trouble with the boats, who's fallen out of the boats, or drowns. That's the Marine EMS, like the ambulance Marine for people on the boats. Some sailboats you can take. There's a streetcar that just went by. Sailboats you can take, you can rent. Take sailing lessons too. See, Queens Quay. Queens Quay. This is my favorite place, Tim Hortons. And now we're getting into Harbourfront. This is Harbourfront, where it's very, very busy, especially on the weekends. The world selling stuff and activities for children, and they have music playing. See, Harbourfront Center. So Harbourfront Center, if you want to Google it, just type in Harbourfront and you'll see lots of activities and things going on for the month of July and August. Now we're going into the heart of Toronto, downtown Toronto. You can see there's the CN Tower. And we're just crossing over the Gardiner, going into downtown. We're on Simcoe Street, from Queens Quay to Simcoe. This is downtown. This is where the Toronto Convention Center is, where they have the expo place, Comic Con, where they come here. There's the CN Tower, very popular place, and the Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays play. There's the Dome. The Dome is actually closed now. And then there's Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. Very beautiful place. I love that place, where you can see fishes and animals in the water. Rogers Place. And you go up, 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 and there's the CN Tower. The round part is glass, you can see, and it turns, and you can have a restaurant up there. You can eat, and it turns around, so you can see the whole view of CN Tower. So Google CN Tower, Toronto, if you want to come and visit. Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. It's beautiful for children. And the Rogers Center, any Blue games going on, always, the Blue Jays always playing. This is a double-decker bus, tour bus, where you can get on and they'll tour you around all of Toronto. So you can Google this if you like. It's Tour Bus Toronto, and it'll give you a whole whole tour of around downtown Toronto. So you can see this is near the Rogers Centre. Gives you a tour around the Rogers Centre. And there's a place called the Rec Room. Actually, it's a restaurant and an entertainment place. Beside it is a museum for children, the Toronto Railway Museum. Gives you the history of the Toronto Railway. See, Rogers Centre, and Ripley's Aquarium. People going in. And it's right beside the CN Tower. As you can see, it's a very, very tall tower. Very tall. It's still early in the day, so it's not that busy, but it gets very, very, very busy later on. So once it gets busy, I'll show you again how busy it gets. So this is the Simcoe. This is the way to get to the CN Tower. There's a set of stairs if you want to get to the CN Tower. So if you're Ubering, let them know that you're just going to the CN Tower, and then you should know automatically how to get here. There's the Rogers Centre. So when you come down to Toronto, there's people here that'll give you, that you have to hear, the people in the red. You register with them, and that's where you get the tour bus, the double-decker tour bus. So look for the people here in the red. See, he's helping, taking a picture of tourists who's now taking pictures. And so he has all the information of it. If you want any tours of Toronto, he's hired by the City of Toronto. So look for them when you come down to the Rogers Centre or the CN Tower and you want a tour of Toronto. The people in red. The front of the Rogers Centre where you can buy your tickets. There are all the different entrances where you buy your tickets to get into the Rogers Centre. So now we're driving into downtown Toronto. So we were on Bremner Street. So Bremner is where the Ripley's Aquarium and the CN Tower and the Rogers Centre is located on Bremner Avenue. So if you're ever Ubering here in Toronto and you want to go, tell them you want to go to the Bremner Avenue, to the CN Tower, Ripley's, or the Rogers Centre to see the Blue Jays. But the Uber drivers should all know how to get here anyways, because they have a GPS map. But just in case, maybe you're in a taxi or your friend picking you up, just let them know it's on Bremner. So now this is Front Street. This is where the Union Station is too. If you need to take the train, the GO station, it's on Front Street. We're actually on Blue Jays Way that takes you north along in Toronto, passing Wellington. And this is another thing you'll experience once you're here in Toronto is lots of construction. Construction. People doing work, fixing the roads, building new condos. So, can't get out of this, but there's lots of construction here in Toronto. So we're on Adelaide Street now and we're stuck in traffic as usual because of the construction. As you can see, the construction pole, it's only one lane. And construction, like I said before, is everywhere you go here in Toronto. So here in Adelaide, it's one way. We're going along Adelaide to University. So I'm just going to zoom in and show you if you ever get lost, if you're driving, rented a car in Toronto and you need to get on the highway or the Gardiner, always look for this green sign. It tells you how to get to the Gardiner or to the DVP. The DVP takes you east and west and the Gardiner takes you right out of the downtown area. So it takes you out to the west end or to the east end or the north end of the city. So always look for this sign if you're ever renting a car and you get lost. So traffic is getting a little bit busy now as we're heading right into downtown Toronto. We're still on Adelaide Street, past the university, where all the hospitals and big businesses are located. Toronto General Hospital, Sick Kids Hospital is all along the university. If you ever need to get sick or an emergency, it's all along the university. So as I said before, construction everywhere. So you can see bike lane closed, motorcycles and cyclists share the road. So bike lanes are closed. You can see construction people are fixing or renovating a building, like a condo or I guess an office building and stuff. And then here, as you can see in front of me, construction again. We're still on Adelaide. And construction everywhere. So now we're on to our second order, which is we came downtown to our second order of DoorDash. As you can see, construction everywhere. Always going to one lane. So please be careful when you're coming to Toronto. If you're renting a car, always beware of construction everywhere.
because the entrance is blocked, so you can't go in.
So we're on York Street going onto Queen Street West. And this is where City Hall is, and the apartment building. See more construction. So here's our second order. We're picking up here at the Chinese place. No, it's a Chinese place. Chinese place. So we're on our way now to drop off second order. As I mentioned before, we passed Front Street. So now we're on Front Street and York, and this is on the right hand side is the building of the Union Station. So that's where you can get the trains from anywhere within Ontario, from east to west. You can grab the train to come to Toronto, and also the GO Transit too, and also the Greyhound bus or any other railroad transportation. But it's called the Union Station. It's on Front Street. So if you ever need to get here, then you're dropping off or picking up, Union Station. You can see a lot of taxis are here. So if you're walking and you need to get a taxi, there's always a taxi in the front waiting. Right here is the main entrance of the Union Station right there. Busy, 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 busy. Busy, happening, vibrant city. So we're on Bay Street. If you see in front of me, zoom in a little bit if you can. And you can see the Parliament building. That's where the courthouse. And that's near City Hall where the mayor is, and our new mayor is Miss Olivia Chow. And we have festivals going on at the City Hall, which is called, and it's called Nathan Phillips Square. which hopefully soon we'll be passing and I'll show you more. So we went from downtown, now we're in the East End, Toronto. We're on Broadway. We went from downtown Toronto to the east part of Toronto. We were on King Street, all along King Street, now onto Woodbine. So this is now, we are in Scarborough. South part of Scarborough. I'm going to let you show something. It's this green sign. It says municipal parking. So that means it's government parking. So if you're ever renting a car when you're here in Toronto, try and look for this green sign for parking. It's government owned. You still have to pay for it, but it's much safer, I find. There's other places called public parking, parking for this, and so always look for the green sign if you can. You can also Google it saying greenpark.com. So we're now heading to our destination to drop off the food to our hungry customers.